Hey everyone, I'm back after sabbatical. Yeah, we'll call it a sabbatical. And it's time to talk about some positive things right after this. Quick intro. Hey everyone, it's Tasty Taste from Blooded Kittens, and after being on vacation for the last 2 months, I'm back with a video and posting on Blooded Kittens. So if you read that blog, if you subscribe, do all that stuff, then you'll start seeing more content coming in. But anyway, it's glad to be back, and gosh, over these last couple months, since I've been gone, it seems that a lot of people are being kind of sourpuss about a certain company we love to hate or hate to love. Either way, Games Workshop allegedly has been going through some rough times between, threatening people for making videos, to not paying their employees, to this week where a leak NDA came out. And if you follow any of the big YouTubers or Twitch or Twitter or Facebook, you've probably seen this about leaked NDA, and everyone's going nuts and crazy about it. So what I want to talk about in this post is not about the NDA, not about all this other past drama, because it just seems that our content creators, I guess me included, are complaining and want to complain. But what I want to focus on is the good stuff. And what I mean by the good stuff is this is all going to pass. There's always a history of good Games Workshop and bad Games Workshop. We're just going through a slight bad Games Workshop phase. It happens every 10 years. It's like clockwork. And as someone that's played this game of 40K since '89 and been involved in following Games Workshop since before that, when they used to just have a magazine called White Dwarf that was just White Dwarf, nothing else, and then they finally bought Citadel. And anyway, long story short, Games Workshop always does this. They get, a little too big for their britches, and then they start doing weird legal things. And this is just an outgrowth of that. I have a feeling it has something to do with some recent, actually bad economic news that they are hinting at. And that is something that's been crazy that we haven't seen for 5-6 years now, as Games Workshop stock and portfolio and profits have gone through the roof over this time. But because of COVID, Brexit, China, chips, supply chain, and all the millions of things that are affecting all of other companies, guess what? Surprisingly, it's also affecting Games Workshop. So they've made a couple posts, which I'll link below, about how they might be not hitting their profit targets. And of course, they're blaming a bunch of other stuff. But what this also means is that they'll start sweating because they can't pay those sweet dividends out to their shareholders, which they love to do so much. So that might explain all this kind of locking down, quote-unquote, bad Games Workshop behavior. Or it also could be that our content directors are really desperate for content because it's been kind of light on the releases, except for, the big Sigmar release. But really, we know most people don't pay attention to Sigmar. It's really about Warhammer 40K. And since that hasn't been really releasing that much content, except for some orcs and a little splitter splatter of a bunch of stuff, I can see why a lot of content creators are kind of up in arms and trying to figure out some sort of new drama or some sort of way to get everyone all, antsy and point the finger at Games Workshop. And also, I have to admit, and we all have to kind of admit, the competitive side of the game is not doing so hot with really 3 or 4 armies that are just completely dominating and destroying their competition, leaving the rest of the codexes that don't have updates for 9th edition in a bad spot. And that goes back to the supply chain issues. I know Games Workshop would love to have all the codexes out by now, but they just weren't able to because of, just issues with the whole world. So that being said, I just want to get this shout out to just say, hey guys, calm down. Bad Games Workshop is going to be bad Games Workshop for maybe a year or so, or maybe 2 years, who knows. But then once they, start losing money and realize, oh, it's because we're treating our customers wrong, maybe we should treat them right, they'll go back to being good Games Workshop. So if the tea leaves are correct and that they're going to be in a bit of a little downturn, that would explain all this behavior and their legal team being crazy. And also, they've just grown so big, they're trying to act like a big boy, and when they're still always kind of been a mom and pop. So with that said, that's all I want to talk about. That's my spiel. Just get over yourselves. Bad Games Workshop will come and go. We'll be back to just loving models and caring about models. So don't worry about NDAs, people being paid pennies, all that terrible stuff. It's going to go away. And also, oh my God, just don't pay attention to the YouTubers and Twitch and Twitter mongers that are just going psycho about the next big scandal, which is really not big scandals. They're just kind of normal corporate operating procedures. So with that being said, paint some models, play some games. Don't worry about it. Talk to you next time.